What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a wide receiver top of the route quiz. So we're going to be talking about just 3 specific situations and what kind of moves wide receivers can use at the top of the route to create separation. So if you guys aren't familiar with our quiz format of videos, I'm going to show you guys a pre-snap look. I'm going to let you guys pause the video. You're going to think about what you would do on the specific situation that I'm giving you, and then I'll break down the video, okay? So I hope this helps you guys out. If you guys have any feedback or what kind of videos you would like to see on this channel, we really appreciate if you guys would leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. Let's get started. So first situation is we're looking at this outside wide receiver right here and this DB who's outside leverage. So what's a move that you can use at the top of the route when you have to run a post route and this DB is going to be outside shade like this, okay? So think about why he's outside shade, how you have to run the post, and the timing of like a bang 8 post. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. And now I'm going to get into what we should be doing in this situation. So if I have an outside shade guy, right? Pre-snap, I come to the line. I know I have to run this post route. He's outside shade. And why would he be outside shade? Usually he's outside shade because A, my split is cut down as a wide receiver, or he has safety help to the inside. In this case, he has both, right? The split is cut down and he has safety help. So we could pretty much anticipate pre-snap that, okay, that guy's going to be outside shade. So now he's outside shade because he's trying to force me to the safety help. He does not want me to get outside. So if I had to run this post route, the mistake a lot of people will make is they'll just go run the post route. Oh, this DB's outside shade, it doesn't matter anyways. I'm just going to go cut in front of him. But the thing is that when you do that, that DB is going to get right on your hip. He's forcing you to the safety. He's doing his job, and that quarterback has a tiny window to be able to make this throw, right? So what we have to do is we have to attack my leverage with the stem, and a move I can use at the top of the route is going to be a rocker step because that will threaten him to the outside. So let's play this thing full speed. So this wide receiver does a great job of hitting him with that rocker step, threatening him to the out route, and then making some separation on that post. So again, let's talk about it, right? So I'm going to attack this DB. If I'm attacking the inside shoulder of this DB, that might get him to flip. That might get him to think that it's an outside breaking route. And so that rocker step that he takes, which is essentially a 2-step break at the top of the route, rather than just breaking off of his left foot and running to the post, he goes right, then left. He breaks this thing off, he goes right, left. And you see how much his upper half sells. His hips and his shoulders are both committed to that outside break. That's what's getting that DB to think that he's running an out route, slipping back underneath, maybe going to flip his hips back down, but it's attacking the leverage that he's keeping because his goal is not to let you get outside because he does not have help over here. He's got a lot of space from that sideline, so he does not have help. So if I could threaten him to where he doesn't have help, that's going to get him to widen off on this thing, and then you see what that does. That creates a much bigger angle for me to make this play and a much bigger space for that quarterback to fit that ball in there from that safety. So a great move that you can use at the top of the route when you have to run a post route versus an outside leverage DB is going to be that rocker step post. So let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job attacking the leverage, hitting him with that rocker step to threaten him where he does not have help to get him off of that platform. So next situation we're going to be looking at here, fellas, is going to be how would you run this kind of like 10-yard speed out versus this type of coverage on the goal line. So what would be a great move you can use at the top of the route for this? But before we get into this breakdown, fellas, I also want to talk to you about a great opportunity we are having this offseason. We are traveling out to 8 different cities the remainder of this offseason. We are coming out to Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. We're coming out for 2 days per city for quarterback and wide receiver training camp. It's going to be 8 hours total of training, and the spots are going to be limited to only 10 to 12 guys per position group. So we're keeping the group small, and it's going to be for 2 whole days. So you guys are going to get a ton of coaching, a ton of opportunities to get better because of that small group atmosphere. We actually want to take the time to coach you guys, develop you, show you what you're doing wrong, and how you can fix it. So if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities that we just mentioned and would like to come out and get some great work in with us, check out that very first link in the description below. We would love to have you out. This would be a great opportunity for you guys. Youth and high school will be split up at the camp, so we'll be working with guys your own age, going up against DBs your own age to get yourself that better competition. So check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. So like I said, we're going to be working on a situation where you have to run a 10-yard out versus this coverage on the goal line, mind you. So what is a move that you guys can use at the top of the route to get some separation here, okay? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. And now I'm going to break this thing down, okay? So now, if we have to run this 10-yard out, right, and we're on the goal line, so this is going to be a race pretty much essentially to that sideline. What is a dangerous route for a DB to cover on the goal line like this? Goal line fade, right? So that's probably what we want to make my route look like if I have that outside breaking route because there is a vertical portion of this route, right? So I want to make it look like I'm getting that ball, back corner going to be running this fade. So what we should do is we should probably attack his leverage. We probably shouldn't just run straight there. We should probably attack his leverage and make it look like a fade. And giving a peek back move with your eyes is going to be a great way to get this DB to try to jump the fade, try to sit back, try to play the fade, and I can create some separation back towards that sideline. So let's watch the thing again, full speed. Does a great job of attacking, peek back with the eyes, gets that DB's eyes in the backfield, which he should never do, and then we're able to create some separation, right? So again, attack his leverage, and then when we burst up vertical, it's just a little glance over that shoulder. That's what's going to get that DB expecting the goal line fade. That's what gets his eyes in the backfield. He does not have hands. He does not have a feel for me, and then I can break this thing right off and create some separation. So if you guys said something like a peek back move, selling vertical, making it look like a goal line fade, you would be 100% correct on this. You do not want to just like run up to the top, give like a little bit of a lean into him, then break it off, because again, it's the goal line. He's going to be getting physical. He's going to be getting hands on you. We want to make everything look like a fade, but when you're on the goal line, you're in the red zone, you want to make it look like a goal line fade. So peeking back over that shoulder is a great way that you guys can get space. You look at guys like Davante Adams, you look at guys like Keenan Allen, they're two of the best route runners in the game. They are always peeking over that shoulder, always trying to sell that goal line fade when they get down close. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job attacking leverage, selling fade with those eyes, and then breaking it off. So a great move that you guys can use, fellas, in this situation is that peek back technique on an out route, okay? So now, we're looking at this situation here from Sherman and Terry McLaurin. So main thing I want to talk about here is what would you do? So what is a move at the top of the route that you can do if you take an inside release and you have to run a 10-yard out? So let's say Sherman's maybe playing he's playing a little bit outside shade, right? Maybe pre-snap, your split's cut down, he's outside shade, he's got safety help to the inside. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to take an inside release. So let's say that he's able to get hands and play this thing well. What is a move at the top of the route you would use if he's able to get hands on you and play this thing correctly, okay? So now, you guys can go ahead and pause the video, and then we're going to break this thing down. So if he were to play this thing well, right? Like, so again, he's outside shade. I'm not going to force the outside release because he's going to get right into my hip, force me to the sideline. Very similar to what we've talked about in the past on this channel. So if he gets hands, force me to the sideline, I got no space in that. The quarterback has no space for me for him to lead me, right? So I'm not going to get separation on the route. It's not going to be a successful play. So I'm going to take the inside release. If he's running hip to hip with me downfield, what I could do is throw him by. So let's play this thing full speed. So McLaurin does a great job setting him up outside. DB's not playing this thing bad, maybe trailing a little bit behind, and he's able to get just a couple yards of separation is all you need on a play like this because you are accelerating back to the ball. So again, when Sherman's here, he's trailing underneath, running hip to hip. He's not necessarily trailing way behind you. If he was trailing way behind you, what would you do? You'd restack. But since he is playing this thing well, what you would want to do is put the brakes on, and then you would want to swat him by at the back of his hip or the back of his shoulder. So anytime that you guys have to take like an inside release on an outside breaking route, that throw by is always a great move that you can use. Or if you have to take an outside release on an inside breaking route where that DB's hip to hip, a throw by is also a great move that you can use. The 2 points of control, you want to make sure you attack on that. Back of the shoulder, back of the hip. That's what will get him off. That's what can get you the most separation. Force him to have this long speed term or slow open up of his hips, and we could get some separation. If that ball's out on time, we cannot lose that rep. Okay, so make sure, fellas, inside release on an outside breaking route like an out route. When the DB plays it correctly, you throw by. If he doesn't play it correctly and we got him off the line and we're able to restack, you want to restack and then use like a hard cut, a rocker step like we talked about in the very first clip. Okay, let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by McLaurin, not forcing the outside release. Great job utilizing his technique and trusting himself at the top of the route. You have to trust yourself at the top of the route, fellas. That is the whole point of this video, and you have to know when to use the specific moves to use at the top of the route. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Always appreciate the feedback from you guys. And again, fellas, if you're interested in coming out to one of our 8 cities, one of our 8 quarterback and wide receiver training camps we are having this offseason, check out that very first link below. Again, we're going all the way to Houston, Phoenix, Newark, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles. So if you guys are interested in that, you want some more information on it, check out that very first link in the description below. See you guys next time.